Greetings, math fans. All right, so this is day 3 notes, and we covered last time we covered adding and subtracting polynomials. Okay, and even before that, we talked about combining like terms. So now today's topic is multiplication. So this is day 3, and it's multiplication. Okay, so just real quickly, a couple things. And we've actually did a little multiplication like in the first chapter, first and second chapter. If I have 3x squared times 4x to the fifth. Okay, you guys know you multiply the numbers together, so that gives you 12. And what do you do with the exponents? When you multiply this x squared times that x to the fifth, what do you do with the exponents? You guys should remember, you add them, right? 2 plus 5, so it's going to be 12x to the seventh. Okay, you don't multiply the exponent. Don't do x to the 10th. Okay, that's not correct. So it's 12x to the 7th. Very, very important. All right, so so let's just make it a little more complicated. How about 2x to the fifth, y to the third, z to the eighth, times negative 7x squared, y to the fourth, z to the sixth. Okay? So remember, it's going to be 2 times negative 7, which is negative 14. And then you're adding exponents of the same variable. So that's going to be x to the 5 plus 2 is 7, so x to the 7th. Y to the third times y to the fourth is also y to the 7th. And z to the 8th times z to the 6th, so 8 plus 6 is 14, so it's z to the 14th power. And that's your answer. Okay? It's pretty easy, right? Multiplication, relatively easy. If I give you a problem like this, negative 4 times 2xy. Okay, so there's no variable with this negative 4, so literally I'm just multiplying that 4 times negative 2, and I get negative 8xy. Okay, so don't try and distribute that if that's bad, because this is multiplication. If that was 2 plus x plus y, like we did yesterday, so like if I did this, 2 plus x plus y, then you would distribute that and you say 4 times 2 is negative 8, negative 4 times x is negative 4x, and negative 4 times y is negative 4y. That's different. This is just all multiplication, so you basically just multiply the numbers together, and again, if there were any variables, you'd multiply them together as well. Okay? So that's first kind of problem. You've also seen problems like this. And we actually did problems like this just yesterday. So if I said 4 times 2x minus 3, well, what do? You distribute. So you get 4 times 2x is 8x, and 4 times negative 3 is negative 12. Then you get 8x minus 12. Okay? Pretty easy. So let's do problems that you probably have seen before. So if I give you x plus 4 times x plus 3. So it's basically a binomial times a binomial. And here's the deal. You need to multiply that x by every term inside the second set of parentheses, and then that 4 by every term inside the second set of parentheses. So basically you're doing 4 multiplication times each time for this polynomial times a polynomial, or binomial times a binomial. Okay, so if you guys remember, you guys learned it actually, FOIL. Okay, that's what we use to multiply. And the only thing here, let me erase this stuff below here. The only thing that FOIL stands for, which is very helpful, so F-O-I-L. F stands for first term. So this is your first term in each one, right? First term in the first set of parentheses, first term in the second set of parentheses. Outside, or outer, O-U-T-E-R, outer is the outside terms. So these are the outside terms. So that's multiplying those together. And then you have inner. Inner is, I'm going to put this in a different color now, inner is the inside terms. Those are inside. Okay? And then last are your last terms. So the 4 and the 3. Those are the last terms in there. Okay, the x and the x are first terms. The x and, or the 4 and the 3 are your last terms. And then you have inside and outside, or inner and outer. Okay, so that's what we're going to be multiplying together when we use FOIL. So let's do that. Again, our first term is going to be x times x, which is x squared. Our outer term is going to be this one, so x times 3 is plus 3x. Our inner term is going to be plus 4x. And our last term is going to be this guy right here. 4 times 3 is 12. So plus 12. So that's it. That's FOIL. That's multiplying a binomial times a binomial. And then you're usually, not always, but usually you're going to have to combine two terms together. So that means you're going to get x squared plus 7x plus 12. And that's your final answer for this problem. Okay? All right, so let's try a couple more here because it really isn't that bad. But you got to remember FOIL. Okay, so what if I said x plus 4 times x minus 1? So again, you're going to do FOIL first, x squared, outer, minus 1x, inner, plus 4x, and last, minus 4. Okay? And then you combine like terms. So you're going to get x squared plus 3x, because 4x minus 1x is 3x, minus 4. Okay? Not bad. So let's do a little more complicated one. This isn't bad, right? This is pretty easy. Just got to be careful of your multiplication. So let's do 2x minus 3 and 4x plus 5. Okay, so a little more complicated, but no big deal. So again, FOIL first. So 2x times 4x is 8x squared. Don't forget the squared. First outer, 2x times 5 is plus 10x. Inner, negative 3 times 4x is minus 12x. And last is negative 3 times negative 5, which is negative 15. Okay, and then you just combine like terms. So here are like terms. So you get 8x squared, 10 minus 12 is negative 2x minus 15, and that's your answer. Okay, that's not bad, right? So that's FOIL, pretty easy. Let's do one with two different variables, okay, and just show you what's going on here. So if I do 2x minus 3y and 4x plus 5y. Okay, so you get x and y in here, but no big deal. Okay, so 2x times 4x, again first, gives me 8x squared. Outer, so FOIL FO, outer gives me 2x times 5y is plus 10xy. Inner, negative 3y times 4x is negative 12. Now you want to put yx, but yx, remember yx and xy are the same thing. It's multiplication. It's like saying 2 times 3 or 3 times 2. So keep it the same because then it's easier to recognize like terms. Okay, so you got an xy here, so we're going to say minus 12xy instead of yx. And then last is negative 3y plus 5y is negative 15y squared. Okay, so these are like terms. So we're going to get 8x squared. 10 minus 12 is negative 2xy, and then minus 15y squared. That's your answer. Okay, not bad, right? All right, that's cool. Let's keep going here. We've got a couple more different kinds of problems to deal with. Okay, so what if I give you guys a problem like this? X minus 4, and I put a squared on the outside. Now this is the bad thing to do. This is wrong, okay? Is to square that x and just get x squared and square the 4 and get plus 16. That's wrong. So what you do is you actually have to write it twice. Just like if I said, what's 2 squared? Wouldn't you say it's 2 times 2? I wrote it twice. Or 4 squared, it's 4 times 4. Well, if I have x minus 4 squared, I'm going to write this twice. Okay? And then you FOIL it. So first is x squared, outer minus 4x, inner minus 4x, and last plus 16. Combine your like terms, x squared minus 8x plus 16. So notice if you just squared both terms, you would have gotten x squared plus 16, which is only part of it. Okay, you need that minus 8x. All right? So remember, if it's some terms quantity squared, you got to write it twice. It's so important. Write twice. Then FOIL. Okay, I cannot stress this enough. So important to write it twice, but only when you have a problem like this. Okay, write twice, then FOIL. Very, 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 very important. Okay? All right, so let's keep going here. Let's see. Let's do another one like this. So if I do 2x minus 5y quantity squared. So write it twice. 2x minus 5y. 2x minus 5y. And then FOIL it. So 2x times 2x is 4x squared. 2x times negative 5y is negative 10xy. Negative 5y times 2x is again negative 10xy. And negative 5y times negative 5y is positive 25y squared. Okay, not bad. And then we combine these like terms. So you get 4x squared minus 20xy plus 25y squared. Okay, we're good to go. Sweet, that wasn't so bad at all. Okay, so let's see, couple more we got to go and talk about. The next kind is this. So let me delete this. Next kind of problem is if I give you a problem, it looks like this: x plus 7 times x minus 7. So let's just FOIL this out, because it's kind of a special thing if you FOIL it out. And if I do that, I get first, so x squared, outer minus 7x, inner plus 7x, and last minus 49. So these will cancel, because negative 7x plus 7x is 0. So I get x squared minus 49, and that's my final answer. Okay, so make sure you cancel those out. Now, if you notice, this is what the deal is. I have an x here and an x here, same number, and I have a 7 here and a 7 here. So these are all the same. The only difference is one's plus and one's minus. Doesn't matter the order, but one's plus and one's minus. If that happens, this will always cancel right here. It will always cancel. Those middle terms will always cancel. So when you're doing FOIL, the F and the L will stay, and the OI, outside, inside, will always cancel. Okay, if you guys remember, this is from back in the day. This is called difference of two squares. Because x squared is a perfect square, 49 is a perfect squared, and what does difference mean? Difference, of course, means subtraction. So it has to be all three of those things. First term squared, second term has to be a perfect square, and then it's got to be a minus sign. It doesn't work with plus, only for minus. Okay, so that's the difference of two squares. So let's just try another one here real quickly. If I give you guys 3x minus 2 times 3x plus 2. So I know it's going to be a difference of two squares because it's 3x and 2. Same thing for both of them, one's plus, one's minus. So watch, if I do first, 3x times 3x is 9x squared. Outer plus 6x, inner minus 6x, see how it's going to cancel, and last is minus 4. So my answer is 9x squared minus 4, because these guys canceled out. Okay, so again, difference of two squares, difference of two perfect squares. Okay, all right, last kind of problem is basically, you know how we did FOIL before? And FOIL is just to make sure that we multiply everything inside the first set of parentheses times everything inside the second set of parentheses. Well, when you have something that's not just 2 and 2, for example, if I have x minus 3 times 2x squared plus 3x minus 1, okay, it's not, you can't use FOIL because you have three terms in the second set of parentheses. So FOIL just makes it so you multiply every term inside one set of parentheses by every term in the other. So that's all you really need to do with this, guys. You need to multiply that x times all three terms, and then the negative 3 times all three terms. Okay, so if I do that, I get x times 2x squared is 2x cubed. X times 3x is plus 3x squared. And x times negative 1 is negative x. That's first. Outer gives me negative 3 times 2x squared is negative 6x squared. Negative 3 times 3x is negative 9x. And negative 3 times negative 3 is positive 3. Right? So if you notice, we have 6 terms here. And however you want to do it, if you want to combine your like terms by circling them, right, that is the only term for x cubed. For x squared is this one and this one. For x, it's this one and this one. And then, of course, that's my constant all by itself. Okay? So my final answer is 2x cubed. Combine these two together, so it's minus 3x squared. So that's good. That's done. And then these two, negative x minus 9x is negative 10x. Okay, so those are out of here, and then plus 3. And that's your final answer to that problem. Okay, it's a little bit more work. It's not FOIL, it's distributing, but that's what FOIL is. Okay, so let's do one more here. Let's do x plus 3 times 2x squared minus 6x plus 1. Okay, so let's start distributing. So I'm going to multiply this x times all three terms. So x times 2x squared is 2x cubed. X times negative 6x is negative 6x squared. And x times 1 is plus x. Okay, then the 3. 3 times 2x squared is positive 6x squared. 3 times negative 6 is negative 18x. And 3 times 1 is 3. So I'm just going to circle my like terms. This one's a like term, and this one. And this one's a like term, and this one's a like term. The other ones are not like, so we're just going to list them, okay? So you wind up getting 2x cubed, and negative 6x squared plus 6x squared actually cancels. It's nothing. So you don't put 0x squared. It's just, it cancels out. X minus 18x is negative 17x, and then plus 3. And that's all you can do. And that's your final answer. Okay? So that's, again, distributing. We did with FOIL. We did with, like this last type of problem, we did difference of two squares. We did a lot of types of multiplying out. And you guys need to be good with this stuff to be successful. Okay? Anyway, that's it, math fans. You have an outstanding day. Adios. Goodbye.